Welcome to episode 42 of Movies and Us. I'm TJ.
And I'm Marcus.
And this is the review show that reviews genre movies from the beginning, sometimes. And because we're in the off season, this is where the sometimes applies, as Marcus makes more editing problems for himself by eating chips and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think this is a funny bit. How loud is that, by the way, on your end?
Very, very loud.
How's the chewing sound?
Really bad.
Yeah, really?
And really disgusting.
Choked on it.
Yep. And you deserved every bit of it.
Hold on. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Are you done dying?
No.
Come on, we got a whole movie to get through here.
Okay. That's not doing that bit again. Put this aside for later. Okay, what's up? I'm Marcus.
We already did that part.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we're actually past the intro now. Alright, so today is my pick, and we're doing Alien 3, because Marcus likes to pick bad horror movies, and I was tired of watching his artsy one, so I figured we'd pick an actual bad horror movie for a change.
Mine wasn't that bad, nor was it that artsy. It was a movie.
Anyway, it was released May 22nd, 1992. It is, well...
Did you say the title? I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. Oh, did I not say the title?
I don't... he must have. You had to have said it, right?
Well, if I didn't, we're doing Alien 3.
Oh, I'm sorry if you said it. I feel bad. I'll just edit that part out.
I might not have said it, so who knows? Anyway, it's Alien 3, May 22nd, 1992. Well, see, Marcus watched the theatrical cut.
Here we go again. Yes, that's correct.
And I watched the 2 hour and 24-minute extended edition, or whatever it's called.
Special, or the assembly, or the non-Fincher approved, or whatever.
Because
I don't think any of them are Fincher approved.
Because we're so professional, and we always communicate before what we're doing beforehand, instead of just jumping right into something.
Yes, always.
That's what we do. Anyway, so yeah, that's how long it was. It was directed by David Fincher, screenplay by David Gile, Walter Hill, and Larry Ferguson, story by Vincent Ward, produced by Gordon Carroll, David Giler, Walter Hill, starring Sigourney Weaver, Charles L. Dalton, Charles Dance, Lance Henriksen, Brian Glover, Ralph Brown, Paul McGann, Danny Webb, Tom Woodruff Jr., Pete Holsowhite,
Who'd you say?
McAnally,
Tom
Woodruff Jr.
Why is that name something? Who is that?
He's the alien.
Oh, okay.
Holt McAnally, Peter Guinness. They say Danielle Edmond as Newt, but not really.
Kinda.
Christopher Banbeck, Phil Davis, Vincenzio Nicolai, Leon Herbert, Christopher John Fields, Nolly Buggy, He Chang, Carl Chase. I don't know why I'm going through the whole freaking cast, but
yeah, he's doing the whole thing more than I do.
Clive Mantle, D.O.B. Apari, and Paul Brennan.
Oh man, it's like you're going through the whole cast and crew list on the back of the.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally the cast list on the Wikipedia page that I went through.
Is it?
Yeah.
Really?
That they're all listed, so I just read them all.
Really listed it? I missed that.
Yeah, underneath plot it says cast.
Oh, you went to that list? Gee, what was wrong with you?
Anyway.
Oh, you talk about budget?
I'm about to do it right now.
Yeah.
The worst part of this whole show.
You're the worst part of this whole show.
I can leave. You can do it yourself.
Yeah, let's give that a try.
All right. So this movie had a $50 to $60 million budget, and it made $159.8 million worldwide, but apparently flopped in North America.
Which is weird.
Go ahead and go into your spiel.
Wait, how much did it make?
I got $159.8 million.
Placing at number 13 on the worldwide list, right over Under Siege, right under Unforgiven. That's fascinating. The top 5 of that year were Lethal Weapon 3, Basic Instinct, Home Alone 3, Lost in New York. Number 2 was
what?
Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
It was 2, yeah, that's not 3.
Oh, because I'm looking at number 3, it was that. Number 2 was The Bodyguard. And number 1 was Aladdin.
Yeah, I figured it was 1993.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's what I gotta say. Just let you guys get perspective of the visual effects back then until we talk about this masterpiece of a movie. Honey, I Blew Up the Kids came out that year too. My Cousin Vinny, also good movie. Go watch it, guys. Also, Rockadoodle came out that year, so watch that one too.
That was a terrible movie.
Okay, what were we talking about before box office?
We were talking about box office. I'm just waiting for you to get done with your box office stuff.
I'm done.
Okay. All right. There's not really much else to go into before diving into it. There isn't much behind the scenes stuff. It had like 7 scripts before they finally decided on one, which is probably why the movie kind of ended up the way it did.
See, that's where I never understood the point of doing that to a movie. Like at a certain point, you just gotta let it go. I know a lot of money is involved in making movies, and a lot of people have their feelings and opinions into it. But 7 scripts while the movie's going, like, who's this for?
And also, they started filming before they had a finished script too.
Exactly.
So I don't know. I why not just scrap this? If you're gonna do a different script, just scrap the old one altogether and just start from scratch.
Exactly. Don't try to build off of something that's already not that good. But I get like who are we, I guess, because I know sometimes it does work out pretty decent to well. I know Fincher disowns this movie, both cuts of it, doesn't want to do anything with it.
Well, I mean, I looked at his filmography before we started recording, and it makes sense.
Why does it make sense?
Because he's got some. He doesn't really have a really bad movie to his name except for this.
Yeah, no, he's got great. Have you seen his movies?
I've seen 7.
Classic, such a good movie. Zodiac, Gone Girls. Gone Girls. Have you seen Gone Girl?
No.
I want to make you watch that one. That's a really good one.
I think the only one that I did see was 7, but I've heard of the other ones.
That's fair. No, he's just a good director. He's got the style. He's got everything.
Yeah, like I've heard of everything that he's done, but I haven't really seen any of it.
Fair. He's on a lot of commercials. So that's where he started off. Music videos and all that shit.
But yeah, so it makes sense that he wouldn't want this on his resume.
Can only imagine the anger he must have had. Yeah.
All right, you ready to go into this proper?
Kind of, because I didn't really take notes, but no, we had to watch different versions now, so I'm going to be looking like an ass. But sure, why not?
So, surprisingly, for a movie called Alien, we open up in space!
Space
credits with images of, I guess, an alien disrupting the cryogenic sleep. We pick up right from Aliens, essentially. And an alien has been left on board the ship, was on board the ship with them somehow.
Yeah, and that's the best. Right off the bat, like, how this... Because it's not the alien, it's the facehugger egg sac, right?
Yes.
How'd that get on?
I don't know. Like, from when they showed the egg, it looked like it was outside of the space. Now it's inside, actually. You have no idea.
Makes no sense.
Yeah, unless they deposited one before they took off on that ship, you know?
No, I don't see that happening. But well, yeah, for the movie, sure.
I don't know. Anyway, the alien causes disruptions, or the facehugger, or whatever the frick it was, and causes disruptions on the ship they're on, and causes it to, I guess, go in defensive mode and jettison the cryo chambers onto a prison planet.
That seems like a weird safety thing, but it makes sense.
Well, I think it was just the nearest planet that was habitable, I would assume.
Yeah, but just having to have the cryogenic sleep things be escape pods, kind of, this is weird. Seems weird to me. But it makes sense in a weird way to me, too.
I don't know. All I know is that we're crashing into an escape pod. And then Ripley washes ashore. As she's found by one of the people on the prison planet. And this is where we pretty much... The opening is pretty much them trying to revive Ripley, and we've discovered that all the survivors, except for Ripley from the last movie, are dead.
No, not Newt and... What's the other guy's name?
I think it's Hendrickson?
Yeah, I think I should know this. I'm a bad Alien fan. Damn it, I should know this.
I'm even an Aliens fan, and I remembered.
I know the fan base when watchers always complain hard about that. Like, yeah, why do those two have to die?
Newt, and also the robot
Bishop.
Dead. Bishop is also dead or scrapped or whatever too.
I am going to complain about that just for the fact it just feels unnecessary to have him die that way. Of course, Ripley has to live because she's the man. It just seems stupid.
Well, here's my thing. I've heard the complaints about that too, about them
Yeah.
killing off the two characters.
Like, I'm not completely angry about it. I just think it's like, of course she has to live. So
but
of course,
that doesn't feel like a problem with the story as much as it is with the fans.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, it's not written like aliens always are involved with the escape ship, and always something bad happens at the end of the Alien movie. So it actually kind of makes sense that an alien would end up on this spacecraft and try and kill them. It's just this time they killed 3 people instead of them surviving.
Yeah, I just think, for me personally, I think it would have been better if she would have died too. Because I just like, of course she has to live because she's the main character, guys. Plot armor, duh.
Well,
so like,
no,
if she would have died too,
there's a reason why she survived.
well, why she survive?
Because
she's got to have a character arc kind of throughout the movie.
No, because that was the only one the facehugger got into.
Yeah, see, it's stupid.
Don't they die afterwards though?
The facehuggers?
Yeah, after they implant.
They do die.
Well, yeah, they don't explain anything. You have to surmise what happens. That's part of the problem with the movie.
See, like her
with this opening scene, that's definitely a problem. But for what I guess, that the alien facehugger broke into her cryobot, implanted, and then died.
Okay, then how did it break in? How she get from here from space to here without dying from a
the alien breaking in? The ship was on a what's it, autopilot to a planet. So this was, the planet must have been, so the ship's been going the whole time. So it must have been just passing by it as the alien hatched.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the cryogenic chambers they're in got detached and it flew from the ship to the planet, right?
Well, yeah, because when the ship went into, like, there was an electrical fire that the alien caused or something, it went into defensive mode and pulled the cryo chambers into that detached, like, escape pod and jettisoned it so they would survive the fall as a defense mechanism.
I see what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, that's why that happens.
Gotcha.
And because Hendrickson and Newt don't die from the alien.
No, death from the crash, it looks like, or...
Yeah, they get killed by the crash, like, a beam goes into Hendrickson's pod and, like, impales him and kills him, and then Newt drowns, apparently.
Did they say all that?
Yeah. In my version. Is that not in your version?
Maybe. Like I told you, I loosely watched this movie. A lot of people were talking when I was watching it, so I wasn't really paying that much attention. I just saw the gist of it because I thought we were going to watch the same one, TJ. So I don't know, man. Maybe.
Because they explain all that.
Did they explain it in the beginning or later on at the autopsy scene? Because in the beginning, they crash and they just find her.
Yeah, they take out the bodies out of it, and as the guy's typing on the computer, making the report to Weyland, whatever the company's called.
Weyland-Yutani, yeah.
Yeah, Weyland-Yutani, they explained that he got killed by the pillar and then that she drowned. And they also explained that the doctor keeps telling Ripley that the girl drowned because of the autopsy scene and everything.
Gotcha.
So all of it was explained.
I was arguing about something. I'm sorry. I forget. Alien?
No. You were
just like, I think, for me personally, I think Ripley should have just been dead. Like, it would have been shitty to see her die that way after surviving 2 alien movies. Like, oh, she dies in a crash? That's stupid. But I would have liked to see the alien and them dying, the aliens being on the thing, and then taking over the planet that way. Like, she doesn't necessarily need to be in this movie. But
the facehugger was the only thing on air. And their one thing is to implant.
Yes, but I'm saying the guys could have found the ship. Everyone else on the ship is dead. The facehugger, for some reason, because the people on the planet have no idea what these things are. So the facehugger attaches himself to one of the guys, implants them, and that's how the movie goes. That's how I would have done it.
Then the ship wouldn't have crashed.
No, it can still attack.
How? Oh, it can still attack?
Yes, it can still attack the ship, make the ship do its whole thing.
But the ship doesn't crash. It only goes into it once the cryo chamber realizes that the people are in trouble, and then it jettisons them.
You're not wrong. I'm trying to find a reason why they all could have died. There could have been another sack in there for all I know. I don't know. Though they did it that way, so why can't we do it that way? Why am I rewriting the movie? Just keep going.
I don't know. I just think the movie would have been way worse without Sigourney Weaver in it.
For sure. But like, I just hate that she survived because plot armor. That's all. I think that was just dumb and lazy.
But she didn't survive because of plot armor, is my
She
point.
did.
She survived
Because
because
she's fucking Ripley. Like, we can't have a third Aliens without her, guys. So let's write this movie 7 times over and over, keeping her alive no matter what. She's going to have most of the paycheck and all the money go to her for the most part. Screw what the director says. Let the other characters die. We need her alone to live.
that's not at all what...
For the most part.
Not at all.
Yes.
No, it isn't. There was a reason for her survival and a reason for everything, actually.
What? The whole thing at the end? The whole twist? Halfway, I guess, through?
It wasn't
whatever.
a twist. It was predictable right from the start.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like, that could have been anyone else. She didn't need to be...
No, I mean, but you could say that about any story.
Yeah,
you
but
could
like,
say,
exactly,
you could say
plot armor.
the main character is not the main character. Could put that on any story.
Yeah,
That's
but I'm
not a
just saying.
complaint. That's just the way it was chosen to be written.
Yeah, plot armor. Because the other two dies is because one drowns and one has a beam flying
No,
around killing him.
plot armor would be that
It's plot armor.
No, plot armor means she wouldn't be able to be killed. Period. There's
No,
a reason. There's a
plot
reason.
armor-
A plot armor is not being able to be killed because the story requires of it.
Exactly. They want
Like-
her to live for this movie. Even then, the next movie, she comes back as a clone, so it's just
What
all plot armor.
That the next movie's not made. We're talking about this movie.
I know. I'm just saying, like, that. This is definitely, in my opinion, plot armor. The main character's gotta live because
But
reasons,
that's the
while the
thing,
other
but the
ones will die.
She doesn't live in the end.
But she lives in the beginning to get the story going. That's what
But
the plot armor is.
that could be any story ever.
And even throughout the whole movie, the alien's right next to her face is not going to kill her
But
because.
there's a reason for it,
And I
though.
get that, but it's just really stupid.
It's
I get that more so than this opening bullshit.
But it's the story. But there's lore that behind everything that proves why that doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist.
I mean, why that makes sense.
Of
There's
the aliens to her face or to this?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that makes sense. But this,
I disagree. I don't think there's a plot armor problem with it at all.
only in this part. Only in this part. Only in the
But
opening
not
scenes,
only
plot
in this part. I even disagree with you, and only in this part. There's a reason why everything happened the way it happened.
because she has to live for the movie to go.
No, because
Yes.
the alien got into her cryo
Exactly.
chamber and
only-
implanted her.
Yes, the creature that's causing chaos throughout the whole movie series, because the alien got into her chamber, and that's the chamber that has to be survives for the movie to keep going. If the other two die for some reason, why couldn't she have just died in this chamber? Because the movie would stop here. That's what I'm saying. That's the
Your-
plot armor in that part. After
Your
that, just-
argument is not
what
well
are you
at all
talking about?
because you're arguing basic writing
Exactly.
conventions.
I am,
It's
because
like-
this is bad. This is a stupid opening.
Because
I don't care that they all die or they all live. I think they should all should die, but they all should have lived. I think
But
two of the three, and the one that does live happens to have the alien in her. Why didn't Newton have the alien in her? Why didn't the dude's name
because
have
that's
the
not
alien
what
in
the story wrote it. It's not how the story was
because
written.
they needed the main character to have it to keep the movie going and reasons.
But my point is, the story wouldn't have changed regardless of who had it. So what difference does it make of which
It
one's
would have
alive?
changed because if Newton would have had it, her character dies, and so the alien dies. So Sigourney's like, oh man, at least I don't have the alien in me. But since she's the one that lives, she has to have the alien in it to keep that.
So
plot
wait.
going along.
I am not following what you're saying at all here.
My
Because you're
anger
saying,
is that Sigourney's living just because she has the alien in her. Spoiler alert for people who haven't seen this movie and we're getting to it in review. She's got the stuff in her, so she's got to stay alive to keep the plot going because A, she's Rip Ripley, and B, she has something inside of her that would be a cool little twist for us to have later on, etc.
so your problem is with the crash
Yes.
and the happenstance of her staying alive.
Yes, that's the plot armor right there.
When
Because if it wasn't for
That
that,
has happened 1,000 times in history.
yeah, but the
Some
same
people
person
survive and some
but
people
the same
don't.
person over and over again, like it's always Ripley. It could have been
But
new. I would have
she's
cool with
never.
that. It could have
What do
been
you mean over and over again?
I mean, not over, not like crash wise, but she's the main character, so it's got to happen to her. It's the Die Hard thing.
That's a
It's the
story.
it's the
in
Die Hard
every
thing.
that's every story. The things happen to the main character,
Yeah, but it gets old
even
after.
when
It's a
it's
franchise thing.
illogical. What's your favorite movie series?
I like the Predator a lot.
You like the Predator a lot?
Predator's my favorite series.
I've never seen that, so give me something that I've actually seen.
My heart just exploded. You never seen the Predator? You
No.
never seen Predator or Predator 2
No,
or Predators
never
or
seen
The
any.
Predator? You son of a
No.
bitch. What the hell? What's wrong with you? They're bad movies, but come on, man. Okay, I'll give an example. Die Hard. The fact that it keeps happening to John McClane every single movie gets really like, okay, guys.
But that's what a ongoing series is.
And I'm fine with
Impossible
that.
things happen. It's like comic books. All these terrible things keep happening to Batman, but yet Batman is still the main character because
'cause he's
that's how
Batman.
that's how the things happen.
He's going out for this
But
shit.
you
John
can say the
McClane
same
and,
thing
and,
for
and
her.
Ripley, she's not looking for this. It just keeps happening to her. So
And-
for
but-
it to keep happening to
but
her
it's
over
not-
and over, it gets
but
kind of old and stupid.
But it's not like she's in different parts of the universe. Everything's coming off of one movie into another. It's happening
Yeah.
systematically after and over because she's still in contact with the alien. She's never at a point, except for in the beginning of the second movie where they got her away from everything.
Yeah.
And if she would have stayed away from everything, it would have been
Yes.
fine. But everything else has been connected after each incident.
Yes.
You
But
see what
the
I'm
way
saying?
this gets connected is really just weak to me. Because we
But
both
it's-
agree that the alien sack being on there is weird and stupid and makes no sense. But we'll believe that. Sure. The crash and the other two dying and her living because
That's
she
my
has a thing
whole
in her.
issue. This is my whole issue with your argument right now. We're putting away the fact that there's somehow the alien sack's on there, but we can't suspend our disbelief that
Yes.
Ripley survived the crash.
Because I'm willing to suspend my disbelief once at most at the beginning. If it's something really flawed and stupid, like how that happened, I'm still trying to calculate it. Okay, movie, I'll let that go. But the rest of the movie, you got to really prove
You
that
have
this
a
makes
better
sense to me.
argument. You have a better argument. The fact that the alien is there than where her surviving a crash.
No, I don't
Yeah,
think I
because
do.
anybody can survive a crash. It just
Exactly.
happenstance.
Exactly, but for it to be her,
So
do you know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. You're saying that because she survived the crash, that means she has plot armor. But I disagree. I think it's just there's a chance she could have survived just as likely she could have died.
Yes, but it has to be Ripley though, because it's Ripley, and she has to have the alien in her.
But
So
you're
she has
looking
to
at-
survive the crash
you're-
for those two reasons.
See,
That's
and
what the script was saying. When they're writing the
That's
script,
my problem that I'm having with you. You're looking at it as, ooh, this is the studio demands. This is what
why was it
everything
the studio
demands.
demands? Just whoever wrote this movie made it that way because
Right.
the movie's got a movie, and that
Ex-
is fine. If they didn't have the
that's
alien being on
my
their
point. That's what any writer would do. You're fighting Alien 3. Okay, how does Ripley survive this?
I would have her die. I'm so sorry. That's what, and that's the whole basis. I think I would have, if the other two died
And-
because dumb reasons, she should have died too.
And you would have a way worse movie on your hands.
No,
and
really?
and it would have failed even worse.
Ideally, no, because and again, as a writer, you're thinking, okay, if they all die, yeah, people are gonna be shocked and angry, but now they know people can die, even the main character of the first two movies. So now, once you get a new character who's gonna be the main arc of this movie, male, female, whatever they're gonna be, they could die too.
Everybody dies anyway.
Except for Ripley.
And she dies in the end.
Kinda, unless she
No,
counts
she
the sequel.
dies.
She does. She does.
As this,
She-
as of this movie, of 1993, just because some guy later comes back and decides to bring her back to life, doesn't discount the fact that she dies in this movie. She's supposed to be dead.
And
in
but it
fact-
takes 2 hours or 2.5 hours where a movie you're watching. It takes X amount of hours to get to that point.
So,
So she should have
what
died in
difference
this.
does that
She should have
make?
died in this scene. I'm just saying. In
I-
my movie, she would have died in this scene, and someone else would have had the alien.
Well,
in them.
it's not
That's
your
just
movie.
me. That's just me.
I think you're wrong on this.
Hell, they
one.
could have the cat on here, and there could have been a cat. The cat had an alien in it, and then the dog alien, the cat alien, are fighting it out. It could have been
But you're just
animal
arguing.
aliens.
You're just arguing. You could have anything.
Exactly. That's the whole point. Because she should be dead.
But that means that argument can be applied to any f***ing movie ever.
Yeah, and a lot of movies.
That's
would be
my
better
whole
that way,
point.
in my
That's why your
opinion.
argument is stupid. Because
That's
you're
not
just
stupid.
you're criticizing writing in general. It's like, okay, I don't like this.
Why
Why
John
this
McClane's-
happened.
It's like, why is John McClane
why is John McClane doing this? Because that's the way it was written.
But why? Like, why does it always have to be this guy? Granted, yes, the audience likes these people: Ripley, John McClane, whoever character you're gonna fill in.
You
but
not
it doesn't
know what
always
an
have to
ongoing
be.
story is. It's like it's almost like saying,
At a
okay,
certain point, it becomes like, what are the odds that they keep dealing with the same bullshit?
we're in
Unless they're looking out
fantasy
for the bullshit.
worlds.
And
We're
I
in
know.
fantasy worlds.
But of that argument that we're in fantasy worlds, we can't claim about anything.
It's like, okay, Batman solved 3 cases. We have to kill him off now because he's Batman and we're tired
No.
of this character.
Batman's
Let's make a
different
new
just for the
guy.
facts. No, Batman's different because he's actually looking for this shit. He's actually on the hunt
Okay,
to solve shit.
Superman.
John
We gotta
McClane
kill
just happens to
Superman.
him.
We gotta kill Superman off because this is the 7th alien invasion from Krypton or something here.
Yeah, I'd be cool with that personally.
I'm just
Like,
saying
how many
you're
times
wrong
did the world have
because
to be invaded? I don't think I'm wrong. I think as a
how
person
many
who's
times has the world been invaded and Superman? You
Too
want to
many
know?
times.
About 300 at least.
a lot. I'm
But
just
that's
saying.
my point. But no one's scrambling and say we got to kill off Superman because there's too many invasions. That's not the point.
You're right. They did kill him off. It didn't work. They killed him off. It didn't work. People are bad at writing characters for some reason to keep them dead. I just think in this movie, she should have died if the other two died because they died some weird ways. They each died some.
They died in the crash. How is that weird?
Because
how is that weird?
Newt drowns somehow, and another guy gets.
They crash in the water. And
but
that because of the ship being in such bad disrepair because of the crash.
It's dumb. No, but see, this thing happens in not Alien, Planet of the Apes. I think it's like 3 or 4, the original Planet of the Apes. 3 or 4 astronauts crash land back on a new planet. 2 of the 4 die, I think, or 1 of the 4 die because of crash lands. I get it, but if it happens in the second or third movie because the main character's got a main character, that's stupid. That's bad writing.
Your argument is so bad.
It's not. Ripley's only alive in this movie because she was lucky to be alive, not because of skill or ingenuity or because she fought her way. She's just lucky she survived the crash. That's stupid.
You would not. Are you saying you would not have the same problem if this was called Alien?
What do you mean? No, if it's Alien, I'm fine with being Alien 3.
If this was the first movie and this is how this opened up, would you still have the same argument?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have the
my
argument.
whole problem with the way you're having the problem here.
Because she has to keep going because she's Ripley. If she would have died in the first one, or she would have lived it the first one for some reason like this, I'd be like, okay, I guess. But because this is the franchise and they need her name to carry this movie on to sell the movie tickets.
You're arguing against main characters in general.
Yeah, because after a certain point, a franchise is flawed because shit like this. I live because I have to live, guys. Isn't that wacky and weird? Like, I now don't have any worries for if you're going to get hurt or die. It's just like,
but she does die.
Yeah, until the next one comes out, she comes back. Like, oh wow, man!
Again,
we thought she died, guys.
You're judging it based on knowledge you already know. You're not judging it based on the story.
I know, but when she does die, I say, if I didn't know the sequels came out and she does die at the end of this, I'll be like, okay, cool, she dies. That's pretty cool. That's ballsy of them. I respect them on that. But in this scene right here, this instance, she should die, in my opinion.
And then you don't have a story.
What?
Then you just have a bunch of characters.
You would have a story.
You have a story, but you don't have an interesting story about a bunch of characters you don't know or care about.
It's the same characters. It would be the same way it happened in the first movie. Did you not see the first one? We didn't know those characters until this story happened. Ripley dies, Newt dies, Hicks die. This alien and Ripley breaks out.
Did you find? Do you know any of these? Do you know any of these characters' names?
You know why I don't? Because A, they all look the same, and B, they didn't matter because they all were just cannon fodder for Ripley to get to the end point. This movie is just for Ripley to get A to B to C to dead. That's all this movie was. There's really no story to this movie. The characters, they all like, hey, I'm here, and now my head exploded.
Look,
okay.
I had
what about you? Oh, I'm here.
I'm not defending this movie. I'm not even. This movie is not good.
It's not good.
But your argument, and this first argument in the beginning about this crash is wrong.
I don't. How's it wrong?
Because you're just arguing against main characters.
I'm arguing against main characters like this. When you like, it's just the other way because everyone else died in this crash. It's just because you have to live because you're the main character. You have to live. Hey, Master Chief. I know the rest of the crew died in space, but you gotta live because you're Master Chief. That's plot armor. You have to live because you're the main character.
That's exactly my point. You just brought out Master Chief. He does that in every game.
And that's why I don't like those games. Like, okay, you should be dead for so many reasons.
You don't like anything.
I don't like things like that. When it becomes
you don't like anything that has a repeating character is what you're saying.
No, I like repeating characters when it's believable. When it's believable.
Okay.
If they just live because they have to live, like when an Ex Machina happens or plot armor comes in the way, like, well, they should be dead here. In my headcanon, they died at this scene. Great.
Your argument would have more weight if there was like an actual alien on that thing and it broke into those two pods and killed those two and they weren't accidents that killed them. Then you would have a point. But the fact that it was just her circumstance and it was a crash that killed them is not set plot armor. Like you're saying,
I think it is. I think that validates me more. I think both instances you just said validate me equally, if not this one more, because the aliens go choose the other two to kill.
The other one is intentional, right, and trying to purposely kill them off. It feels intentional, whereas this is
Same with this.
accidents happen,
Accidents do happen, but just the fact that the
and
main
people
character
survive
lives.
accidents.
Yeah, Newt could have survived, and she came in with the alien. Fine, I'm cool with that. I'd be more cool with that.
So if
she's not the main character.
So if you're saying if Newt survives and the other two are dead, it's not the same problem.
It's a less problem, but it's still a problem, but less of a problem because the only reason Ripley survived because it's Ripley.
But Newt would have only survived because she was Newt. Hendricks would only surprised because she was Hendricks. Your argument is bad.
It's not bad. It's not because again, I'm telling you, they all three should have died, in my opinion. But the fact that she's the one that lived, it's just glaringly obvious that she has to live because she's the main character. If the other two would have lived, and she's the main character from the last two films, she's the name carrying this franchise. It's the Alien and Ripley show for the 4 movies, or how many movies they're going to be in together. If the other two would have survived, it would have carried the story more so. I would have preferred them all three dying. If two of the three died, like okay, why that's weird. But like if Newt would have lived, that probably would have been a more compelling story for me, honestly. A little girl who's pregnant with a alien on a prison planet of rapists and murderers. That's a way better story than Ripley, who happens to live because
I'm not disagreeing that it would have been a better movie. I'm disagreeing with the fact that your argument makes no sense from a write-in business and movie standpoint.
Yeah, as a business, you're going to want the main character of the last two to survive. That's just bad.
Even
that's lazy writing. It's just obvious writing.
Even if this was a novelization, a novel, and Ripley's your main character, you're not killing off your main character and a crash in the beginning of the movie because it doesn't make sense.
Why? Because it's plot armor. Exactly. You're not going to kill Bond in the first action scene. Yeah, it is. That's plot armor. You're not going to kill the main character Bond in the first fight scene because it's Bond. If he dies in the first fight scene, what are you going to do for the rest of the movie? Because it's his series.
And that's my point. Doesn't make sense story-wise to kill off that character at that point.
It does.
Or else you're just writing a completely different story. What's the point of having the alien at all if you're not going to have Ripley there? Or what?
Because this is called Alien. This isn't Ripley and Alien. This movie's Alien. Ripley had her story arcs in the first two. If she would have died, great.
You know this was not about the aliens.
If anything, this fucking validates Ripley's Newt dying and Ripley's motherhood child arc as in this movie.
You're not wrong about that. That's a better argument. That's a better argument.
Yeah. So her living and all this shit happening is just so stupid.
Her living and the other two characters dying definitely disrupts her character arcs from the other two
because they don't even mention it. It's just even like
that I agree with, but her surviving is definitely a disagreement I have with you.
You can definitely disagree, but I know I'm right because she's only living because she's Ripley. That's the only reason she lived in this movie until the end, because she's Ripley. I'm just saying the other two should have lived, or the other three should have died, and let the alien gets someone else. That's just me. Because you don't see Arnold Schwarzenegger in every single Predator movie.
I never saw this movie.
He's only in one of them. He's the main character in the first one.
Probably because those movies are so bad, he didn't want to come back for this other one.
You shut your mouth. I think that's pretty much true. That's why he didn't come. They're good movies, man. Kind of. They're good movies, kind of. I hold them close to my heart, even though I know they're flawed. Except the first one. The first one's perfect.
I'm done arguing with you about this, even because you're wrong, and there's no convincing you otherwise.
So I don't think I'm wrong. I know I'm right.
That's the problem.
I know I'm right.
Exactly. That's the problem.
When I'm wrong, I can admit that I'm wrong about shit, but I know I'm right about this.
Okay. So they take her to the infirmary and they revive her. And
wait, why?
Why do they what?
Revive her.
Because she's about to die.
They're on a prison planet. They're all prisoners, right? They're all bad people?
Well, he's a doctor. No, they're not all bad people.
Okay, not all of them, right? Just making sure that's not another hole in the movie.
No, I mean, technically he is.
What did he do again? Like, I don't remember his hearing. He said what he did, but kind of.
Yeah, but he over-prescribed something when he was drunk or something.
Yeah, so I don't you can't really count that as being... Because there's rapists and murderers on here, so he's not, the worst.
No, and he's, trying to make up for his medical malpractices, essentially, by staying. Yeah. So he saves her, and they confine her to the med bay, try to anyway, because she's the only woman. And this is where we learn that this isn't really a prison planet anymore
No.
because they try to shut it down, and these guys decided they want to stay, so they left like a small staff of them behind with them, like a superintendent guy, like an assistant, and a medical officer, essentially. And these guys are more like monks than they are.
Yeah, because I think it recently took up a religious thing, right? Not recently,
Yeah,
but
'cause-
recently.
Yeah, they're more like they believe in this apocalyptic fundamental Christian thing or something, or
hmm
that this one priest is like in charge of everybody and stuff. But so then eventually Ripley wakes up and gets explained to all this. She's got this she explains where she is and stuff. So, but she wants to see the ship. So they also have some equipment because they managed to bring the ship inside their facility.
Yeah, well, they showed that they used like a big crane.
Yeah. And so she goes and sees the ship, and it's pretty beat up. And she sees the mark where the asset marks from the aliens on, what's her name, Newt's pod.
Yeah.
So she wants to see Newt. And so they go to see the body, and she starts examining it. And they were like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "We got to autopsy this." And they're like, "Why?" Just because. I didn't like the way she kept everything secret.
Yeah, that's another thing. That's a writing thing. It's another writing thing. You need drama and tension, so people got to keep things secret for reasons.
I also get why she wouldn't tell them though, because the last time she told them, they treated her like she was nuts. In the second movie.
Well, I think either way like if you try to keep shit secret, people still gonna be suspicious and nuts.
And they were.
Yeah. So, like, however you tackle that's kind of like, damn if you do, damn if you don't kind of thing.
I get why she didn't tell them, because she said they're not going to believe me anyway, but it just felt annoying.
Yes.
From our standpoint, it's like, this dangerous monster's here. Who cares if they don't believe you should try at least?
Yeah.
But at the same time, you kind of get why she wouldn't do it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think, again, 3 movies into it, you think, there's a thing that you're not going to believe me, but it's weird. Aliens exist. They go into people's stomachs. We need to fucking do this now, or it might become a problem later. But yeah, seeing saying that like that, no one's going to believe you there, too. So I don't know.
Yeah, and then they might, like, lock you up, and then you're stuck in an area, and you're not being able to do anything,
I'd watch that movie, too, honestly. I'd have watched that happen.
Anyway, she's like, okay, we got to cremate everybody because of cholera.
Of what?
Cholera.
Is that his fake disease?
Cholera is an actual disease.
Is it really?
Yeah. It's just, in this movie, at this time, it's been wiped out.
Oh, okay.
So they're like, cholera, what are you talking about? And then the doctor's like, yeah, we're going to have to cremate these bodies just in case there's an infectious disease around, and you don't want that on the ship. But, like, so they're going to go do the cremation, but they're also bringing in this dead cow or something. I don't know. Some kind of animal.
You have a dead animal? I don't have that yet. Ever.
You don't have a dead animal?
I have 2. There's the dog that I don't think is dead yet. No, I only have 2 caskets of mine, I believe.
No, the criminals, they cut from, like, her saying we gotta cremate them to 2 criminals bringing in, like, this dead cow.
No, don't have that.
Hanging upside down.
Nope.
And then we're cutting back and forth between the funeral scene, the cremation scene, and the cow as the face huggers bursting out of the cow. Or the aliens bursting out of the cow.
We have a dog in my scene they're doing that with.
Dog?
Yes, there's a dog that was with them when they found the ship, like a Rottweiler, and it gets affected.
There's not a Rottweiler in mine at all.
No way. Okay, so apparently that's a big difference. Want to do yours first? We'll do mine first.
Okay, so after she tells the cremation, right?
Yeah.
They show the criminals bringing in like this giant, like it looks like a cow. I'm not sure what it is. It might be like it's 4-legged beast of burden essentially. And they come in, and then they're like, the one guy walks up the steps, and another guy picks up a face hugger and said, "What's this thing?" It was laying underneath the cow. And then as they're like doing the cremation, the priest is saying like the sermons and stuff like that, and they're chucking the bodies in. And as this is happening, the alien bursts out of the dead cow.
What the really?
Yeah, that's what I got.
Nope. Okay, so for me, did you have like a cow alien in yours?
No, not
that was
really.
4-legged, right?
I had like the small alien 4-legged beast, yeah.
Why the That's such a weird... Where the hell did they find the time to do both? Whatever. That's stupid. What? Like, did they decide halfway through the dog was stupid? Let's do cow instead, or vice versa.
I
So
don't
for
know.
me, the ship crashed on the planet, and the dog and some guy find it first. The dog gets to the face
Oh, the
hugger.
dog was with the guy?
Yeah, he gets face hugger, the dog, but doesn't die yet because he's got to carry it and
No,
ingest
I
the
don't
baby.
get that at all.
Interesting.
The doctor finds Ripley and Maya.
Nope, the dog and the guy, and then the whole rest of the crew come and get them, and the whole autopsy shit happens. And then
No.
during the burning sequence, right here, the cremation sequence, that's where we cut in between the cremation and the dog bursting open with the animal.
I didn't get the dog at all.
Yeah, no, wow, that's a weird choice for that one. I don't get. That's weird to me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's different, but that's what I got.
I guess they wanted more symbolism in yours. Yeah, it was a dog for me. And the dog. There's a lot of exploding body parts in this movie.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Because the dog is just burst open. Like there's all blood everywhere. Like
I mean, it's the dog. The cow's dead in mine. So
no, my dog. You see it. No, you don't see it suffering, but you see it going back and forth. It's shaking, crying, and whimpering and all that
like
shit.
they have the cow hanging upside down, and they're gonna use it for meat later. And then during the cremation scene, they just show the stomach like pulsating, and then eventually it splatters out, and then we get our first look at the bad alien effects in this.
Yeah, they're really bad. They're really bad in this movie.
The aliens were definitely the most disappointing part of this movie.
Yeah, they're like, you have a few shots of practical effects, but when they do like the full body shot, it's CGI for some. It's bad.
Yeah, and we see the
CGI.
aliens way too much in this one.
Yeah, and I don't know why.
And like it's too bright.
Yeah, yep.
So you see all the bad effects.
It's like they didn't have time to layer it into the universe, so they just photoshopped it onto the movie and called it a day. It's really bad. It's not good. And it's funny because the aliens themselves in the first movie, it's like groundbreaking, like top notch special effects or practical effects, and then for them to go this direction, it's like what? But yeah, no, I have a dog of mine.
Yeah, no, I don't have no dog.
Interesting.
So after the funeral, essentially, we get an unnecessary shower scene with Sigourney Weaver, and then we cut over to the mess hall where we get some character development between like the priest keeping people alive, and then Ripley walks in and pretty much disrupts everything and sits down with them.
I don't like this either. It felt not out of character, but it felt weird. It felt good to see her like lay down, like, yeah, don't with me, I'm Ripley. I like that. It was just for her just to do it in general. It felt weird as all.
I mean, I don't know. It's just I felt it's more she's on this planet full of all these prisoners. She has to establish herself as not going to take anything from them.
Yeah, it's like being fight the biggest guy in prison to get so you establish like I'm not a pushover, guys. That thing.
Yeah, that's what I think it was. It's a little tropey.
I guess it's what. Yeah, tropey is the word. I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's whatever. And then we cut over to Ripley talking to the doctor guy, and he starts asking questions about the autopsy stuff, and she says, "Are you attracted to me?"
Oh, hold on, Doctor Guy's Lannister.
I'm never gonna remember that.
He's the guy he's one of the Lannisters. He's the dad Lannister.
Tywin? The bad Lannister. Did you say the bad Lannister?
The dad Lannister.
I was going to say, did you ever watch Game of Thrones? They're all bad.
Jamie had an arc, kind of, not really.
Not until like the last 3 seasons. Sure.
What's this? Is Tywin, right?
Tywin Lannister. Yes.
Yeah, that's who's the doctor. Just want to say that
the doctor.
Lannister.
He shows off as important, but he's not. We'll get to that. So Ripley, he's asking if she's attracted to him, and he's like, "In what way?" And she's like, "The way." And then we cut over to a guy cleaning in a tub, like a tunnel, and then he gets attacked by a face hugger. Is that the alien?
At this point, it's the alien. Yeah,
the alien, and he gets.
Well, I guess it must be the face. It's the alien.
It's small and so it's hard to tell. But he gets pushed into a fan and chopped to pieces. And then I guess Ripley sleeps with the doctor. Because, the next scene with them is them waking up next to each other.
Okay, so I thought I missed something because when I was watching the movie, she said I broke the rules by having sex with you, essentially. I was like, did I miss something? Not that I was looking forward to that, but I thought I missed it. Okay.
Oh, so they just cut to them talking?
Yeah.
No, we cut to we cut to that scene. They're lying. They're still dressed.
Yeah,
mind you,
same.
but they're lying next to each other in bed.
Okay.
And she sees the barcode on his back of his neck.
Got a question for you.
Okay.
Do you think that scene they cut to with a guy dying in the fan tunnel was a euphemism for sex at all? I'm not saying it is. I'm just curious if you could find it. If you could find a reason why it could be.
I didn't get that impression.
Okay, because the guy's in a tunnel, explodes in the tunnel. I don't know.
I mean, maybe if the writer is that bad, but
I think it was pretty clever, man. Okay, I was just curious.
But I didn't get that at all.
Okay.
But so yeah, I guess they sleep together for reason. I guess because Ripley just hasn't had anyone in like 80 years. It was.
Oh yeah, she is old as shit, but I forgot about that. Oh, he had sex with his grandma.
And she didn't get a chance to with the last captain, with Hendrickson. So,
See, no, I don't hate that now when you say it like that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't. It definitely feels like there's no chemistry between the two. I mean,
no.
He's the only one really being nice to her.
Exactly.
But at the same time, I get that maybe she just has an itch after all this time.
You would think so after being scared for 3 movies.
And she's in a relatively peaceful place, and this guy seems like the nicest guy here.
Yeah, she is human, so she's going to want to get it off.
But at the same time, she did technically just lose her daughter.
See? Not her daughter and her kind of husband and her pet android. Like she lost her family. It's weird.
And she doesn't seem to be reacting to that very much.
No.
But at the same time,
maybe this is her reacting to it. But I need to have sex, get my mind off of shit.
There's that because of all the shit she's been through. But there's also the fact that she's not sure if there's an alien here, and she's going through it a third time.
Yeah.
So it's hard. It's hard to criticize it because I'm not sure.
Like, was this bad sexist writing, or was it actually a lot of meaning to this that we don't know? Oh man.
Anyway, the doctor, after they jump around, she asks him about his tattoo and why he has a prison tattoo, and while he's trying to ask about the why she was curious once the autopsy and stuff like that. They're both dodging each other's questions, and then he gets summoned to the tunnel where the guy got chopped up, and then he's investigating the murder scene essentially, and he discovers like a burn mark and that the fan was blowing outwards instead of forward, so there's no reason why the guy should have been felt into the fan. But the what's his name, the head guy, they gave him a name, superintendent. The superintendent was like, I want to see you in my office essentially later after you're done here. He doesn't want any trouble here, which I don't really understand what his giant problem is.
I don't need that. I never grasp it at that.
I mean, I get he doesn't like anything. He thinks everybody's scumbags and stuff here, which is fine. And he doesn't want to cause ripples and anything like that. That's why he's giving Ripley a hard time. But he's just like...
He's just a guy rooting to die. That's all.
Yeah, he's just a prick, essentially.
It's just some more bad writing, sadly.
So, when he's done that, he meets up with Ripley, who is getting the flight recorder out of the ship because she wants to know what happened.
Yes.
So he gets there, and he points her in that direction as he goes to the superintendent for his beating.
He gets beat?
He gets beat.
You said for his beating or meeting?
Meeting.
Oh, okay. I heard you said beating. Like, what? He gets beaten yours?
No.
It's like, Jesus Christ.
He does later, but
I know they're doing like heavy, religious shit to it. So I would have been surprised if they went that route with yours.
So while that's happening, the prisoners are going into the tunnels. I guess because that's their job. They're cleaning up the tunnels or something.
Yeah, I don't know why.
They have to meet.
Did they explain why they're doing that kind of shit?
They might have. I might have just missed it. They're all just still doing the jobs they were doing when they were left here. So
okay,
I'm not sure what that is. I think it's a mining colony, so maybe that. Anyway, at the meeting with the superintendent chews out the doctor essentially and says, "You're not doing what you're told. You're not keeping her where you're supposed to keep her. And if you keep disobeying me, I'm going to tell her everything that you are." And he's like, fine. And he leaves.
Which is just him accidentally killing someone because he's drunk, right?
Well, yeah, essentially.
So why would that be a big secret at that point? I would just tell her at that point.
I mean, some people are embarrassed by that thing.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. But if I was on a prison planet kind of thing, and people said I rape people and murder people, I was like, yeah, no, I'm not that bad. I just got
But
drunk
he
and
did,
killed someone by accident.
at that point, he told her he was the medical officer. He was one of the officers, not a prisoner.
Yeah, I still would have somehow like I would try to keep it hush hush as all. Like, tell her I don't care. It's not a big deal.
Yeah,
You raped someone. I'm
but
way less evil than you are.
well, the superintendent isn't a bad guy at all. He's just a jailer.
Well, and I'm just saying, like an example. Like, tell her I don't care. I didn't do anything. I didn't wear someone's face as a mask and call it a day. No, I just got drunk and killed someone by accident. Whoops.
Yeah, but that's terrible.
It's terrible, yes, but not as like one of the least terrible things on this planet. Probably.
True, but if you're feeling guilty about it and terrible, and you don't want one person that has been treating you like a person to look bad on you.
And I get that. I definitely get that. But why are we doing this? But like, if you're on a planet, you got a barcode. I'm not going to try to beat her on the bush because now she's thinking, did I just have sex with a child molester? No, I got drunk.
If she had that feeling, I don't think she would have said that anyway.
Said what?
She wouldn't have done it anyway.
No, but
if she thought he was like a terrible person, I got the feeling she kind of figured out who he was a bit, and it was just like she realizes that he's not as bad as all the other ones.
Yeah. So if she realizes that, why can't he realize that about himself? And like, just like, yeah,
Oh, come on!
I made a mistake.
Are you really asking why people do the things they do? Why they keep secrets?
In movies, yes. In movies where they could clearly say, yeah, I'm this thing because of this, or I'm doing this because of that. It just solves so many problems so quickly in movies. And that's a complaint. That's all.
It's also people do keep secrets like that. I have so many people who keep those things to them, rather keep them themselves and tell someone else.
And they're idiots. I get the big things you want to keep to yourself. I get it, but small things like that.
That is a big thing. It's not a small thing. He killed people.
In perspective, yes. In this situation, when he's on a prison planet full of rapists and murderers, I'm the least bad guy here. Yeah, I killed someone by accident. I didn't rape them.
It's not a prison planet anymore.
It was. He's here because of that reason. He just didn't show up.
Two, he's not the least bad person here. There's at least two other people here who are just jailers who have not committed crimes.
But to be a barcode, to have a barcode, I'm one of the least bad prisoners here. You get what I'm saying? I'm a prisoner, yes, but I'm like not, because there's different levels for that shit. I'm not the worst prisoner. I'm not a bad prisoner. I'm just, I got drunk behind the wheel and killed someone. Yeah, I'm an asshole.
We don't know that either. We don't meet all the other prisoners. There could be people there who is just, robbed the bank.
And you're sent to this planet? That's terrible. That's awful.
Have you met this company?
Yeah, no, I've met this company. Yeah. I cheated on my taxes 1 year, and I sent me to this planet. What the hell, man?
They sent you to this planet because they need to cheat later to mine this planet.
Oh, no, that's our system. That's our system in America right now. That's
true too. But you also have to remember that this planet used to have it was a full-blown prison planet. And then when they evacuated everybody, these are the people that stayed behind.
See, now that's just stupid at that point when you break that down. Okay, a prison planet in general, cool, whatever. Australia, I get it. But like, you're going to send all the criminals there or just the heinous ones? Or there's got to be a level of like, oh, you did this, you're not going there. You jaywalks, you're not going to the prison planet. Don't worry, buddy.
It's a maximum security prison planet.
Yeah. So they're all bad people. He's just like one. He's like he's a bottom tier bad person.
What's a good example? A drug dealer would be in a maximum security prison.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
But like I was saying, a drug dealer is less bad than someone who murders people.
Yeah, you're not wrong. So he can say but he can just tell her why he's there. I don't why keep it a secret. I murdered someone.
Because he's embarrassed.
Yeah, don't be a little bitch about
guilty.
it.
He doesn't want her to look bad on him.
He's in prison planet with barcode. You're already a bad guy. I would clear it up. Yeah, I'm here because of this, not because of that. So don't worry.
This is your problem. You're looking at it as if you were you.
Because it just relieves so much bullshit drama, just communication.
But people don't always relieve their drama. They hold on to it.
And they're idiots. They're just
most people
idiots. Why not just say what's on your mind? Why not just clear up, yeah, I'm a bad guy. I admit that. That's who I did a bad thing. And this is the bad thing I did. Don't
Because
compare.
a lot of people do not want to admit they're a bad
Well,
guy.
they're dumb bitches. That's all I gotta say about them.
See,
like-
again, your perspectives are so biased and skewed that you can't look at anything
Who isn't
objectively.
biased and skewed? I can look at things objectively. I just hate seeing, again, it's from the writing standpoint, I hate seeing unnecessary, what's your secret, kind of. She asked him, so what's the barcode mean? He's like, I'll tell you another day, lady. Like, come on, this is the 40s. Just tell her why you're like, it just relieves so much
But
unnecessary mystery.
I would think that would be more unrealistic if he just came out and told her.
Why?
Because that's not how real people react.
Not all real people.
He just technically just met this woman 3 days ago.
Yeah, and they just had sex. That's who does that? Meeting someone 3 days in.
People do that all the time. They sleep with a person, and like I said, you're arguing that that's bad writing, and I think if they would have went the way you're saying they would have, that would have been bad writing.
Depends on how they would have handled it. It might have been, yeah, sure, but it depends on how they would have handled it. But since they're bad writers, they would have handled it badly, so you're right.
Anyway, moving on.
I have a lot more to say about this movie than I expected. I barely paid attention to this movie.
I was hoping to get through this rather quickly, but it doesn't look like that's happening.
I'm so sorry.
So Ripley goes to the scrapyard and finds the remains of Bishop, the android. And as she's leaving with them, we get our obligatory attempted rape scene.
It's the same thing in every movie, too. 4 random guys try to beat up this one woman.
Right. You know what? This one bothered me more than other ones, though.
Why?
Because I think Ripley could have taken him.
Thank you. I'm glad you said it, not me. Because I would have said it, I would have been wrong. But you're right, TJ. Because again, 2 movies of her being a badass, she's all of a sudden weak in this one scene.
Yeah, it didn't make sense to me. I'm like, no, she would have hit them over the head with the remains of Bishop there and took them out.
Yep. But for some reason, she has to have her male savior come in.
Yeah.
And then she throws one sucker punch at a guy who's already been beaten up. That's not Ripley.
Yeah, no, this felt bad.
It was bad.
Wrong. But yeah, you're right. She's saved by the priest guy.
Yeah. Which is cool because it shows you that, because they're trying to loot, at least in my version, that he's actually bad and crazy.
Oh, yeah.
But he saved her. So like, oh, okay, that's good. I like that. Like, okay. He
has an okay arc in this. He's he's trying to make himself out to be the baddest of the bad here, but he's actually kind of one of the good guys. Anyway, in the tunnels there with the 3 prisoners. And this is our obligatory alien start killing people thing.
Yeah. Yep.
So 2 of the guys get killed and 1 escapes. That's all you need to know about that scene.
That's how I felt watching that. Like, oh, okay, checklist marks right there. Bingo.
Ripley wakes up the Bishop, who's only like a head and an arm at this point, and he tells her that the alien was on board with them and that they brought up there. Now she has confirmation that she is, that the alien's there. So she goes to the superintendent and tells him everything. She tells him about the alien, this is the part that was like, okay, you're telling him, I guess because he's not a criminal? Is that why you didn't tell the doctor?
Right.
Or everyone else because he's in charge?
I guess because he wouldn't believe anyone else. I don't know.
It just didn't make sense. Anyway, he doesn't believe her, and he tells them that they have no weapons on this prison planet, conveniently.
Mm-hmm.
And Ripley's like, this is a prison planet, you have no weapons? I mean, granted, it's not a prison planet anymore, but still.
Well, do you think they would have had, if you're making a prison planet, would you have any weapons on it?
Prisoners start rioting. You need the guards need a way to defend themselves.
Well, I think if I had a prison planet, I wouldn't need guards. Just drop the people off from the prison and the planet, and like the only place you could go inside is a prison.
But what you're found to realize, this isn't a government-owned planet.
Oh, that's right.
Prison planet. This is Wayland and Hani's planet, and they want these people to mine this planet for them. They need them to do their jobs.
Yeah, no, there's definitely weapons on the planet. You're right.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if it's a real good prison planet, you're not going to need, it'd be a harsh environment on the surface, and you just got to live inside the prison, and you don't need any security at that point because they just steal from each other.
Right, but no, they want profits out of these people.
You're right. Because who's going to fund the prison planet? You're right.
Exactly.
Okay, touche.
So they find the survivor of the alien. His name's Garlic because I guess he stinks or something. I don't know. and
Is he the one who
he's
doesn't want to be called that?
yes.
Okay.
And so they tie him up because
Wait, hold on. I think you missed. So I guess you added that to yours and yours. Did you miss
what?
the sequence? Okay, yeah. And mine, so you go from her telling the warden guy to Garlic, right?
I don't think so. I actually think I skipped over the scene. I was just backtracking.
Okay. Because you missed the big scene.
Well, it goes from him eating cereal or something in the mess, Garlic. After
I don't have
Bishop,
that.
after she talks to Bishop,
Yes.
well, it's actually intersplicing with Bishop. They find him eating the cereal or something in the mess.
Don't get any of that. Okay.
You don't get any of that?
Nope.
All right,
I get Garlic after all this shit that happens.
No, he's eating in the mess, and it's interspliced with Ripley talking to Bishop, and then the other guys, the priests and stuff, grab him and drag him to the infirmary.
Grab Garlic?
Yes.
I don't think I have Garlic for a while in my movie. Yeah,
and then they drag him to the infirmary, and this is where he's talking about the dragon.
I don't think I have that.
That they saw, but they're talking about how they think he killed him, and he's just insane. But Ripley's in there too, talking to Bishop in the infirmary, and she comes out and says he's not lying; it's an alien.
Okay.
And this is where he drags her into a meeting, and this is where she explains everything, and that's
nope. Okay, so in mine, she talks to Bishop. The Bishop says, "I'm you gotta kill me off. I can't live like this. I'm no more use. Aliens on this planet. You're right. You're not crazy."
Wait, what? You gotta kill him off? Why?
Because for some reason Bishop's so up. This is where he dies. She revives him and then she kills him all. Not kills him all, but like she
unplugs
she does.
Him. She unplugs him.
Yes.
She definitely unplugs him.
And then that's the end we see Bishop from me. So hey, I'm back, guys. My cameo. Aliens exist. So you already know that, Ripley. Why wouldn't you know that? And I'm out. That's the whole Bishop scene for me.
What the Bishop scene was him explaining that the alien was on the escape pod with her and came down with them on the ship.
Yeah. For the most part, yeah. Is yours longer? Is yours longer than that?
Well, no, because then they bring in Garlic into the infirmary, and she's in there while they're having a conversation about him killing the two guys in there because they think he did it.
Yeah, is Garlic, like, his face all up?
Yes.
Okay, so I have that too, okay.
And then it's the meet-in where she tries to explain to the superintendent that, there's an alien here and he doesn't believe her, so forth and so forth.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
So we're on the same page?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Well, he confines her to the infirmary where Garlic is like in a straitjacket, and her and the doctor are having another moment discussing. This is where he admits his past and stuff like that, and then the alien shows up and kills him right after he tells her her past.
Yeah, he's not a totally bad guy.
So they built up this doctor from the beginning of this movie just to kill him in the middle of the movie.
Yep.
Why?
Because I think it's this thing I told you in the beginning, how I wish they would have killed Ripley off. It shows you that no one's safe, guys. But we just met this new guy, and you're going to kill him off now. Why?
Except, didn't he do this in the other two movies?
Yeah, in the first one, we meet the whole crew, and they all pretty much die in the beginning, halfway through. And the second one, yep.
They do it in every movie.
Yeah.
It's like, at this point, it's like, why? But this is the only character we get to really know.
Weird, right?
And then they just kill him off for no reason. You just told us his entire story just so all right, we got his story out of the way, now he's expendable, kill him.
Yep.
It's like
it would have been bad if anyone else had a story, but no one else everyone looks the same, and B, no one else has a story. So like when they start dying off left and right later on in the movie, like, who was that? Oh, okay, some other bald dude. Who was that? Some other guy, I guess. Like, this is bad.
Right. And so the alien attacks and kills the doctor. It doesn't kill
Ripley or Garlic?
No, Garlic for some reason.
Bad writing.
I mean, I guess it was just one alien, and he does pull him up into the ceiling.
But does Garlic run away?
No, he's trapped in the bed.
Yeah, the alien.
He's in a straitjacket.
That's easy prey for the alien.
Yeah, but doesn't the alien like eat the corpses and stuff first?
No, I don't think any of the aliens eat corpses. They just want to reproduce.
Well, this one seemed to tear at bodies for an awful long time.
Because it's mixed with a dog or a cow, whatever version you watched. I guess it's stupid. Why was it a cow in yours? That's so weird.
I don't know. But anyway, so it also gives us, our trailer shot of the alien face to face with Ripley.
But doesn't do anything to her. Smells her, intimidates her, and just nothing else.
Meanwhile, the superintendent's in the mess hall with the rest of the prisoners, telling them about all the deaths and how it was happenstance that the one guy had the accident, and then this Garlic killed these two, and then he gets murdered by the alien.
It's so good. You ever see Deep Blue Sea?
Is that the shark one?
Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson and all of them.
I think I may have.
It's pretty much that scene with Samuel L. Jackson that had the whole monologue about sharks and all that shit, and he gets taken out by a shark.
All right, so now pretty much the entire leadership structure of this prison planet is gone.
Yep. Yeah.
So the president's like, who's going to lead us now? And then the superintendent's second, it's like, I can do it. And they're like, you have an IQ of 85. You can't do anything. Because apparently they looked at his personnel records, and that's his IQ. Which is unbelievable in this movie, because that means he's kind of slow.
Yes.
And this guy is at least somewhat competent.
Yes.
So they look at Ripley and say, you're an officer, so you lead us. After, they tried to rape her.
Yeah, see, it's bad logic. You're new and foreign, and...
I mean, it's not bad logic in the sense that she's the only one that seems to know what's going on.
Yes. And there'd be no favoritism with her, because her guy he just had sex with is dead. So she's got no connections to anyone.
My problem is that I guess she's just using them, too, though. She wants this thing dead, and she's just using these prisoners.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a little strange.
Yes.
And then they're like, this place you can't really seal off this place because it's huge and there's like so many tunnels and stuff. But they do have a place where they store toxic waste and they can trap the alien in there.
Sounds like a plan.
Yep. And then they spend a long time preparing for it.
Yeah. Like most of the end of the second act, beginning of the third act, all that.
Well, even the first part of this preparation is like them mopping like fires stuff on it, and then the alien attacks one of the guys, and he accidentally sets the whole thing in flames, and everybody blows up, and that goes on forever.
Wait, what?
Like they're mopping the floor.
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff.
got that. Okay, yeah.
And then the one guy's climbing up the ceiling, and the alien kills him, and he drops his fire stick. I don't know what it is. Some kind of stick thing. And it hits the floor, and it causes all the thing they were preparing to set ablaze. Right? You got this?
Yes, I got it.
So, and all that happens, and then the alien shows up, and all the prisoners and Ripley's on one side, and one prisoner with a scarf is on the other side.
Yeah.
And he runs to the toxic waste stuff. The alien chases him, and then Ripley locks him inside. The prisoner is sacrificing himself to save it.
Which I would never do. Maybe. I don't think so.
And then I guess there's a sermon of some kind, but because I wrote that down, I guess the priest is talking to them.
For me, I get like she's in a pod, medical thing.
Is that here?
For me, yeah.
That's not until later for me.
I get the fire sequence, and then she's in the medical bay, and they examine her, and oh no, she's got spoiler alert. That's what I get after that.
No, I did not. That's way later for me.
Well, start talking, TJ. Tell us what happens.
So they're in the med bay, and Garlic is still in there with one of the other prisoners, and he's like, "Set me free, because we're friends." And after he gets annoyed, he lets him out, and then he hits him in the back of the head and knocks him out. You didn't get this?
No, I'm telling you, I just got from fire to pregnancy. Remember, there's a 30-minute difference between your movie and my movie, so you got a lot of explaining to do.
And then she's with the superintendent second, and he's like, they're asking for permission to kill the alien from the company, because Ripley wants to prove that they're just trying to, because they're coming at this point. They're sending a team to rescue Ripley.
Yes, I get some of that, I think, later on in the movie.
But right here, they're like, she's asking permission to kill the alien just to show that they don't want it dead.
Yes.
They want to capture it. And so...
That these guys here are expendable, right?
Yeah, and so they'd say permission denied.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Garlic is free, and he goes and kills the guard outside of the alien's toxic waste, where they have the alien locked up.
Okay.
He kills him, sets it free.
What?
And then the alien kills him, because he believes it's, like...
What?
He sets it free.
What?
How did this make it free in yours?
I don't think he gets trapped at all. The fire happens, no one gets... It doesn't not get in prison, and they just... What? He sets it free?
Yeah, so you didn't get the scene where the the prisoner sacrifices himself, runs into the.
No, he runs away, but he dies. Just like, no.
No, he runs into the toxic waste place, and Ripley slams the door shut, and he gets killed in there. But they have it trapped, so now they have a few moments. Now they're trying to figure out. They're just waiting for the rescue team, but she's not sure because they think they're just coming to do it.
No.
But then the crazy guy believes it's some kind of dragon god or something,
Nope.
I guess. And then he goes and releases it, and that's when he gets out and gets back out.
I think I only get the crazy garlic for a few shots, and that's it. And when it first comes out, but the whole chase sacrifice isn't really there. The guy does get chased, but I think it's alluded that he dies. She then goes to the med bay. That's where she gets pregnant. Like, oh, you're pregnant. And then they have the conversation.
Still not there.
Yeah, this is all chopped up. And then they have a conversation. This is where she's proving, like, you guys are expendable. My crew was expendable the first time and the second time. You guys are expendable too.
Oh, so they're in the furnace at that point.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, because after it gets free, she's trying to convince the preacher that they need to kill the alien. He's like, why? They're coming to...
Yeah.
They can't let the company take it. He's like, why? I don't give a about any of these things.
Oh, man, this movie is so redundant from the first two. Jesus Christ. Continue.
And then they're all trying to figure out what to do, and so they decide that they're going to go to the furnace because that's where the alien is. You know, aliens are afraid of fire, and it's, you know, furnace is a giant fire. And then this is where Ripley figures out that there's an alien inside of her.
Wow.
Yeah.
So maybe I didn't get that prisoner sequence. So I do have fire. I definitely have fire sequence. And then the pregnancy. I don't think I have any of that sequence you just talked about then.
No, I guess not.
They got a lot of... No, I had the toxic waste section. So yeah, everything you just said after that toxic waste shit was not for me. It's toxic waste, med bay, she's pregnant. And then she goes to computer, asking for permission. Can't do it. She tells them they're expendable. And then more movie after that. But I didn't have anything she just said.
Did you get the scene where she asked the priest to kill her?
Yes. Yes, I got that.
And he's like, no, help me kill it, and then I'll kill you.
That's literally after you guys are all expendable. So then she goes to that cell, and that happens, yeah.
All right, so then we get the scene where they need to go looking for the alien, and where she talks about what you just said about they killed, you know, the last two movies. They don't give a shit about you.
Yeah. My first crew was miners. The second one was Marines. These guys were people. You guys are criminals. No offense. You're expendable.
But the one guy is telling them the medical team is arriving.
Yeah.
It's almost here. And then we get a shot of the spaceship approaching.
Yes.
And then she asked the priest to kill her.
Did we say she's pregnant yet? Did we actually say she has the alien in her yet?
I said she had an alien inside her. You said it like 4 times throughout the review, so I just kind of glossed over it.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, guys, she's got an alien in her. Da-da-da.
We didn't mention that it's the reason why it's not killing her is because she's got a queen inside of her.
Yeah. Oh, it's a queen.
Yes. Did I say that in yours?
I was going to make a yes queen joke, but I don't feel like doing the voice.
Oh.
No. I didn't pay attention to the movie, so I probably did say it was a queen. I thought it was just another alien.
No, it's a queen, and that's why it won't kill her, is because it's how they're going to repopulate. Queens lay thousands of eggs.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
So that's why the aliens aren't out to kill her. I don't know if they actually kill them when they have a regular alien inside them.
Yeah, I don't know. They don't ever really touched upon it. I wouldn't think they did.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's a queen, they're definitely not going to.
Yeah, definitely. It's the queen. Queen B.
All right.
That'd be Queen A.
So now we go into the third long act.
Gosh.
Where they're trying to trap the alien in this corridor.
Yes.
So they can use a piston to push it into a place where they could drop molten lead on it.
Yes.
And it's just the prisoners running around in circles over and over again as the alien chases them through doors, and it goes on forever.
And like I said earlier, they die one by one, but they all look the same, so you don't really have... And we don't know their backstory to any of them, so you really just don't know what's going on, nor care what's going on.
Yeah, it's not good. And they're not executing the plan properly either, as the priest says, as Ripley asks, what are they doing? And the priest says, they're improvising. Like,
No.
this alien is systematically one by one killing them off.
Exactly. It's not improvising. You're just getting murdered out there.
I mean, as this is happening, the reinforcements arrive, which is like a bunch of scientists, a guy's guns, and Bishop, apparently.
Bishop?
And so they eventually trap the alien in the thing. The priest sacrifices himself as the one prisoner who's like been skeptical throughout the whole thing. I guess he survives for some reason. I don't know why this one prisoner they chose to survive when there were so many other characters that were more memorable.
Yeah.
But I guess I don't even know his name. That's how bad it was.
Yup.
He is. But he drops the molten lead on the alien and the priest, and the priest is clearly dead.
Yeah,
But the alien's not dead, because it jumps out of the molten lead, and then Ripley kills it by turning on the sprinkler system, because I guess the water cracks the lead, some scientific reason.
Makes sense, kinda?
I get what they were going for, I just don't think it worked. It definitely wouldn't explode, that's
No.
for sure.
Like I said, everything explodes in this for some reason.
But, you know, so the alien's dead, so the movie should be over, but it keeps going for like another 10 minutes. So the company guys show up, and we get the real Bishop, the human Bishop that designed the actual android bishops.
Yes.
And he's like, "Come with me. We can get that out of you. We're gonna kill it."
Clearly lying through his teeth.
Yeah, and she's like, "No, you're not." So she steps back onto this rotating thing that she was on with the one prisoner, and so she goes out into the middle. They rotated away from him so they came through him. The superintendent's second was with the company, showing them where they were, but when he realized they were bad, he tries to help, but then they shoot him dead, so he's dead.
Yep.
Out of the way. They shoot the other prisoner in the leg because of reasons.
Yep.
And then Ripley, knowing that they're going to try and study this alien and it's just going to destroy everything, decides to commit suicide and jump off and into a furnace and dies.
Yeah. And it's very drawn out and very, very overdramatic.
It is, but she did it. It was also in her contract that she had to die in this movie.
Yeah. That's why she should have died in the beginning, TJ.
And
yeah,
that's pretty much it. I mean, the company is, I guess they take the prisoner with them, and they say that I think they're selling the planet now. They're definitely shutting it down completely, but there's no one left anyway, so it doesn't matter. And that was Aliens 3.
Alien 3.
Alien 3, whatever, same difference.
Yay. Woo.
Technically, it should be Alien 2.
Yeah. Or just Aliens. Like,
there's only one alien in this one.
Oh my god, you're right.
That's why it would be Alien 2.
You're right. Man, this movie's stupid. Oh, all of it. I hate it. But yeah, that's Alien. What you think of that movie, TJ?
It wasn't very good, but it wasn't as bad as I was expecting it. Maybe it's because I had more context for what was happening with the extra scenes.
You know what's weird?
No. What's weird?
You say that with you having a 2.5 hour version. I thought yours would be better, but the more you told me, like, man, I'm glad I kind of watched mine instead. I thought it'd be worse too. I agree with that, but it wasn't as bad as expected. People just dragged us through the dirt.
Yeah, no, I don't think it gets. I mean, I've heard this was a really bad movie, but from what I understand, and I haven't seen it, but the next one's apparently really bad. So, in comparison, I think this one's okay.
I mean, I like the next one.
It's definitely not on the level of the last two.
And I think that's why people say it's so bad, because the first two are so good in their own ways, that this is such a departure from being good. It's like, man, this is subpar at best.
Yeah, it's, like I said, it's not great, but it's not the worst either.
No. I'm not giving a good rating.
We could tell from your stupid argument earlier.
I don't know why you think it's stupid. It makes sense. What
are you giving it?
I'm gonna give Alien 3 a 3 out of 10.
No, I can't go that low. I'm at a 4.
Ugh, God, good on you. So what was good about it to you to give it a 4?
I don't know. It made sense as far as following. It felt like this could be what followed the last movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes.
It's not like they didn't take the series in a completely different direction and just like, okay, we're over here for no reason now. Everything kind of made sense as far as stories went wise.
No, I definitely, it felt like the same universe. It felt believable. But I think
Right.
that also was a hindrance for me. Like, it was like almost too similar. Not like remake similar, but it was like very safe similar. For me, at least.
Yeah, I don't know. It felt different enough, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
There were no guns in it, which makes no sense. But it felt more like a blend of isolationist and actionist of the first two.
Yeah, I can give you that. Even though the action wasn't good.
No. But I think that's kind of why it makes it bad, because it didn't focus on one or the other.
Yeah.
And I think it would have been a way better movie if they just chose which movie they wanted to emulate instead of emulating both of them.
I can agree with that. Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely think there could have been worse.
Yes.
And I think that's what I liked about it. The movie tried. It just didn't succeed, is what I'm getting at.
I could give you that. It did try. It definitely tried. It didn't try new things, but it tried.
It tried to give you an Aliens movie.
Yes.
It just wasn't very good at giving you an Aliens movie. And that's why I think I was okay with it.
It's like they saw the Aliens movies, but they didn't know how to make
an
Aliens movie.
And it was like I really like Aliens, and I don't think I'm good enough to tell a different kind of alien story.
I am.
So I'm just gonna try and to give them. This is my opinion with the writers.
Okay. I'm definitely confident in myself.
Like this is what they're like. I really like Aliens, but I don't think I can write something different. So I'm gonna try and give them what they like already, but try to give them both.
Yeah. I mean, 7 script changes. It makes sense at that point. Why?
Yeah.
And people said it was so bad, so I expected to come out of it angry. Like, it's not that bad.
No, and honestly, I didn't, even watching a 2-hour version, I didn't have trouble watching the movie.
Yeah, no, same here. I saw it all in one sitting, weirdly, for me. It's like, this isn't the worst thing.
Yeah, I didn't feel like my time was wasted.
Yeah.
I have issues with it, but,
Yes, but still, like, kind of, and a weirdly enjoyable.
Yeah. I don't know.
The reason I'm giving it a lower grade than you, because it's still something I wouldn't recommend to someone, nor I would watch again. That's why it's at a 3. It's like a soft 3. If I found it a little bit more enjoyable, I would probably give it a 4.
I think I'm also a little more lenient coming off of Images.
That's fair. That definitely is fair.
I find myself, when I'm coming off of something that I really don't like, I'm usually easier on something if they're giving me something that I'm least tolerable of.
I respect that. That's fair. But yeah, that's Alien 3. So I guess next week we're coming back with more superhero movies?
Yeah.
Or it's the week after?
No, following week. Well, I don't know.
These egg suckers.
Whatever. It'll come out when it comes out. I'm done talking to these idiots.
Now we need some more. We're done talking with these mouth breathers.